I went through the search group, went out driving, was driving around for roughly an hour and a half or so, and then found an open gate. And when I found that open gate randomly, it just didn't ring right with me that a gate in the cattle field was open. So again, don't know what caused me to walk this time and not drive through the gate, but I parked, I got my dog out, and we began walking about mile down the fence line. And as I'm standing there, I guess he makes a noise in the grass. My dog alerts to him. At first, I didn't know what my dog was alerting to, and I just spoke to my dog, and then he spoke back, and he said help, and that's when I said say it again, and he said help, and I walked over to the ledge, and there he was, kind of like in a ditch out there in this what used to be rice field, and from then, man, it was another 45 minutes to an hour waiting for someone to find me, pinging my location to different people, talking to 911. Waiting for someone to get there, and sure enough, another neighbor in Cross Creek, he found us. We got down there with him to make sure he was okay. No neck injuries, back injuries. He said he was fine, just his ankle hurt. Asked him if we could pick him up. He said yes. So we picked him up and carried him into the back of the truck, and then slowly drove him all the way out until we made it back out to the street where the ambulance was waiting for him and his family and all that. We asked him if there was injuries, and he said his ankle. That's all he really said, his ankle, and he kind of motioned that his shoulder was injured too. When we got him back, we told them that. He said that when I spoke to the family later that night, I was in a group chat with a lot of his family during the search, and they said that there were no fractures, there were no injuries, but he had ankle surgery, I think they said, earlier in the year. And so he walked with a cane. They think the cane broke on him whenever he was out there. I mean, it was a four-wheeler path, right? This wasn't even a dirt road, right? Like, this is a four-wheeler path where cows walk, and it was bumpy. So I think they said his cane broke, and then he just didn't have the stability to get up. There's a tree right there. You could see where he kind of snapped the branch of the tree maybe on his way down as he slipped down. He may have been leaning up at that tree just to take a break for a second, trying to figure out what he was going to do next, because I think by that time he probably realized, where am I? But no, he was there. He was fine. He was coherent. He was thankful.
Wow. And you had mentioned earlier when we talked before we went on camera that you had some appointments that day that canceled on you,
right? Which
made it so that you had the time to go out and do the search.
That's right. I'm a baseball coach. I'm the head baseball coach at Houston Christian High School, and then I also give lessons. I give hitting lessons for a living. I full-time baseball coach. So most weeknights I'm working at Houston Christian giving lessons after school to 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Tonight I'll work till 8. So I had 2 lessons set up for 5 and 6. I wasn't supposed to be home till 7. My wife's assistant principal at Katy Elementary. She usually doesn't get home till after 6 with the kids, and so by the time I get home, it's dinner, it's afternoon TV, evening TV, and go to bed. But this night on my way in, 2 lessons canceled, which is uncommon. And I had worked all day Saturday on the baseball field. I'd worked all day Sunday in San Antonio with my select group on the baseball field, and so I felt if I don't have lessons, I'm gonna go home and take some me time. Sitting at home. After that, you get bored during your me time, and you do what we do, and we got on Facebook, and I saw the post by Captain McCoy again that he was still missing, and thought to myself, well, wife's not going to be home till 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Let's go drive around, see what we can do. And you heard the other part of that story.
Tell me the role that your dog played in it.
So the dog, he just likes to ride. My wife, she's training for a marathon, for the Houston Marathon. She's running for Ronald McDonald House in that. This will be her first marathon. So when we got our dog like a year ago, he's only a year old, Border Collie. He's very active. And she went from being a non-runner to walking the dog to a couch to 5K. And then she's ran a half marathon, and I don't know however many 5Ks or 10Ks, but basically they run every day. So he's very energetic. So she runs him in the morning, and then he's with me every afternoon, and he just likes to ride. He goes to the batting cage with me. He sits at my cage all day. He's on a baseball field. And so when I leave the house he's in the Jeep with me as long as I'm going somewhere where he's allowed to go. And so that was another thing, you know. I mean, take the dog, go for a walk, get him outside, do a good deed. You never know what'll happen. And we found him.
Wow, that's it. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, man. I mean, it's just amazing how God uses us. You know, I mean, it was a God thing to me. It was from beginning to end, from the time that your lessons get canceled to you deciding to walk that walk and stopping you in that place to decide what your next move is, to him making a sound, to my dog hearing it. Like, God's real, and he's going to use us in ways that we may not always understand, and I'm glad it happened.